I love how abrupt that change is.
For 65 years, I have ruled this empire. Generals and kings have knelt at my command. But a darkness comes. The blood tide rises. These are the closing days of the Third Era. And the final hours of my life.
God, these title cards are so, like, yes, it's a mid-2000s games, but they're so very mid-2000s. And yeah, this trailer is blurry as hell.
Find him and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
So anyway, hey, it's me. Hi. It's Insomnia in such hours, and everybody else has been playing Oblivion, and it's like, well, you know what? I've still got my old 360 disc. Technically, yes, I have this disc. It took a great many tries to get it to read, so who knows if this will even work. I'm scared. Don't hear disc reading noises from here. Also don't remember this taking quite so long. But I could be wrong. It's been a while. Oh, I've had my 360 on for too long at this point. It's really toasting up the room.
I was born 87 years ago. For 65 years, I've ruled as Tamriel's emperor. But for all these years, I've never been the ruler of my own dreams. I have seen the gates of Oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see. Behold, in darkness, a doom sweeps the land. This is the 27th of last seed, the year of Akatosh 433. These are the closing days of the Third Era and the final hours of my life.
God, you really, like... It's so hard to explain that how incredible this was back in the day. Like, this was so wildly, incredibly gorgeous and like there was definitely a time of just like this was one of those, this is the best games I've ever looked on console, maybe also on PC. I don't remember what was on PC around the time. And suddenly, things. So we're going to, oh boy. I want to add last name. Nah. We're just going to do Estrella is Lady and Dark Elf. I mean, I'm just trying to find where that I know I think it's in here. There it is. Like these two buttons being at the bottom is just a cruel joke of UI, because it's like you go through all of these options and you get trained by going through this entire menu and all of these options and going top to bottom, go through, click back out, click back out, click back out, click like back out, down, click, and then you hit random and all of your work has been lost. This really is just like kind of the worst in terms of lighting. Why does complexion pull the cheeks? Ah, classic. But hey. I think the wind breeds are going to win out here. There's an argument that could be made for loose matching. All right, here we go. Mahogany is actually not bad. I do want to bring brightness of it up. Yeah, there we go. think Luz is going to win out. Like it's actually like a close enough approximation to Asturia's pair in Final Fantasy 14. So well, hey. Let's see if we can get the skin tone remotely. Okay, so she could, or blue apparently. It's completely glow in the dark. Let's go. I feel like no matter what I do, her skin just keeps getting like redder and redder. That'll do. There is no option for eye color, actually. Alright, let's see if we can make it look like she's not looking up at the window. Already given up so much on getting at all face approximating Estrellas. I actually like look at reference while I'm doing this and not just what a crazy idea that would be. Oh, hi, Frost and everyone. Welcome on in. Howdy, howdy. Guess what? It's more Oblivion, but this time it's old. Hi, everybody. I'm Bryce. You might know me from making that one thing, hesitate to call a game for Frost, and otherwise being a bully. Uh, hey, how's it going? Um, well, hey. So, we are attempting to make my Final Fantasy XIV character as a Dark Elf in Oblivion with the old faces. It's not going well. um, I did have all sorts of issues with trying to read my disc. Ah, yes, there was also VHS play for a good long while. One of these days I should go back to do that. There's also a horse joke that actually did, for some reason, get picked up by the algorithm, which was weird. But hey, yeah. Also, as Frost is often saying, hey, if you need to like go take care of yourself, do that. Welcome on in, everybody. Let's keep fiddling with some sliders, and hopefully getting into some stuff. Glad you were having fun with Oblivion. It is one of those games that I hold very dear, um, and I hope my disc continues to read because it is very frustrating when technology does not work. Yeah, Oblivion is one of those real good sleep stealing sorts of games. All right, sweet. It's like I want these values to change, but I don't like the shape in which they change. So big brain. Also, so it's just a real. If you have no idea what character I'm talking about, then congratulations. You've not been around me ranting about Final Fantasy 14. Um, where's this button? There's this button. Uh, hey, I do have this button though that I can hit. Um, well, hey, that's Estrella as John by that Dan Jones guy who's pretty good at art. I think it's pretty neat. This has been my minus the chat. This has been my own background since getting that commission back from Dan forever ago. And I don't see that changing because it's really good. Anyway, so that's who we're making. Or attempting to. It's not going well, like I said, because basically Dark Elves, it is pretty much impossible to not make a blue Dark Elf. So we're having to deal with colors. We're dealing with shapes that do not change in the way I want them to. Like everything I do just makes her head odd shaped and odd sized. We at least got her to stop looking up to a significant degree. It's like that space between the mouth and the nose. I really want to like pull that back in, but I can't find the right slider for that. Like this might be about as good as we are going to get on this. So, one of the things that I will always remember about this game is how this menu is shaped, because it teaches you to go in, click in, and go through a list of options, and then go down and click and do a list of options, etc., and then go back and go down and click into another set of options, and then go in and go down and click on random, so that you randomize your face. And yeah, you lose all of the everything you've been doing for the last hour or two. Oh god. Oh god. I changed the complexion. Oh no. What have I done? Oh yeah, this was like the beginning of, oh, UI design is actually important and we need to figure that stuff out, I guess. Well, god, why? Oh no. I forgot the complexion button is a terrible thing that you never want to press after you've done anything with this face. Cool. We'll just do a real fast one, hopefully. All of her eye stuff like down to where it's not making her look like she's looking up. Side cheekbones, they are somewhat pronounced. Alright. Fetch nothing else. There we go.
I must surely be dead, and in the halls of Azura to look upon such a vision. You are so beautiful, my dear Dunmer maid. One of the guards owes me a favor, you know. I could get us put in the same cell. Would you like that? You should have some fun before the end. Yeah, you heard me. No matter what the law says, no matter what they told you, you're going to die in here. You're going to die. Hey, you hear that? The guards are coming. For you.
Boris, lock that door behind us.
Yes, sir. My sons, they're dead, aren't they?
We don't know that, sire. The messenger only said they were attacked.
Ha!
I know it.
My job right now is to get you to safety. What's this prisoner doing here? This cell is supposed to be off limits.
Usual mix-up with the watch.
Never mind. Get that gate open. Stand back, prisoner. We won't hesitate to kill you if you get in our way.
No sign of pursuit. Stay put,
Good.
prisoner.
Let's go. We're not out of this yet.
You. I've seen you. Let me see your face. You are the one from my dreams. Then the stars were right. And this is the day. Gods give me strength. Assassins attacked my sons, and I am next. My blades are leading me out of the city along a secret escape route. By chance, the entrance to that escape route leads through your cell. I am your emperor, Uriel Septim. By the grace of the gods, I serve Tamriel as her ruler. You are a citizen of Tamriel, and you too shall serve her in your own way.
But why am I in
Perhaps
jail?
the gods have placed you here so that we may meet. As for what you have done, it does not matter. That is not what you will be remembered for. So do we all. But what path can be avoided whose end is fixed by the almighty gods?
Please, sire, we must keep moving.
Joke's on you, sir. Estrella kills gods.
Better not close this one. There's no way to open it from the other side.
Don't try it.
Looks like this is your lucky
I'm
day.
watching you.
Just stay out of our way.
B opens the menu? Good to know.
Close up left. Protect the Emperor.
The captain's down. You're...
Are you all right, sire? We're clear.
This is official...
Don't know, but it's too late to go back now. Don't worry, sire. We'll get you out of here.
They won't be the first to underestimate the blades. I'll take...
There we go.
Point. Let's move.
You stay here, prisoner. Don't try to follow us.
So already I'm feeling the urge about the leveling of this. Yeah, Estrella probably would just consider. Like, it's always weird taking character out of the Final Fantasy XIV fiction and into other things. It's just like, what do they consider gods, primals, etc. And that is a good question. I'm not sure. I mean, frankly, she would put about as much stock in gods as straight up just the primals. Of here are things, what can be killed. Oh boy. It's this many game. I do already find myself like having the urges about the leveling system in this game. There's okay, right bumper. Let's cast magic. It's for hot king stuff. So Ancestor Guardian actually works really well for Estrella lore reasons. For being half succubus slash the whole half succubus thing is in Final Fantasy fiction and lore that essentially she has a second soul like bound to her, which would have made her a succubus if she had actually been dead during the ritual, but for reasons wave hand it did not. So she's just kind of a twin-souled thing somewhere between a Duskwhite and a succubus. Anyway, so the leveling system in this game is a mess. It is one of those things that there's a reason why they updated it for the remaster. The whole deal is like every 10 points of major skills. I think it's every 10. Anyway, every 10 points of major skills that you gain, you go up a level. Which also your major skills go up faster. What this ends up doing is it makes it where it is better. Like, you end up level capped based off of your major skills, basically. I'm explaining this poorly. So with your major skills, they go up faster and they determine when you level up. And however many skills overall go up between levels determines how many ability stat point things you get per level. Similarly to the remaster, you only get to upgrade 3 stats per level. But instead of getting to determine how many points you put into each, the number that you gain is based off of those skills that went up, and what skills went up determine, or like each skill has a defining attribute that goes up. And, you know, it's all of it is just kind of a mess. It's difficult to explain in a concise way. It actually is somewhat intuitive, but the problem is, like, ultimately it comes down to, the problem is with your... I am gaining skills in the tutorial right now. All these skill gains that I'm getting down here are actually detrimental to my overall character growth, because I don't have major skills, minor skills, etc. and all that stuff. So, I'm over encumbered. Ooh, can't move over encumbered. I forgot that's how over encumbrance worked in the original. Just flat out can't move, not this slow moving, just can't. Yeah, I know, I have way too much stuff. It's actually a decent looking top. It's like, I have such mixed feelings about the leveling system in this game, because it is, like, ultimately it is really bad that, first of all, skilling up in the tutorial is, like, it is taking away points that I could have for, like, the actual game. Which is just, like, that feels bad. Oh god, these vines. These vines actually have jiggle on them. Neat. But yeah, it's like the whole, everything about building your character is like, if you build your character into the character that you actually want to play, which, like, for Estrella, she's going to be sword and board, heavy armor, and whatnot. If I actually build her in that aspect, and get bonuses to things that help early on, and pick those as, like, my major skills. Major skills start at a higher level. Your race determines a bunch of starting stuff. You have, like, all of these attributes starting out of just, like, if you play a race that combines well with the stats that you actually want to use, and you choose skills based off of what you actually want to play. Then that is taking away a significant number of points for your overall level growth. Did Dan ever find his ruby? I remember he was talking about it earlier when he was streaming this. He definitely remembered a ruby, and turns out, yep, there it is. Skeleton has a spoon. Like, it is such a weird thing to have your skills that you choose start at a higher level and grow at a faster rate, but also determine the rate at which you level and the quality of your levels. So if you build your character in the opposite way than how you intend to play them, then you end up with higher quality levels. They're further between. So you don't level up as fast. But your levels are just like way better. Like you will always be choosing among like +5 to stats. It's not that. There we go. That is a chunky rat. 3 meat. I don't remember if torches actually like burn out ever. Oh, right. There's a trap. Glad that worked out in my favor. God, I'm trying to remember. What was the... There it is. Left bumper. That's the one for grabbing and moving things. Physicsing around. I do find it particularly interesting after... Actually, I'm not sure how Morrowind worked. In terms of levels. Like, it might have a similar situation, but there's just, like, a lot more skills. So it's not nearly as much of an issue, and also, like, your... Yeah, I'd have to... I should look that up at some point. I'm always like really fascinated with how RPGs do mechanics That that sounds like such a nothing statement now that I've said that out loud, but it's like, I don't know. I do find like RPG mechanics are just like, it's one of those things that they have to wear it on their sleeve because you have to be able to explain to the player like how this thing works, and they need to be able to like, they need to understand how the system works and what they are doing and how it affects the system, and that translates into here's a whole lot of numbers that do stuff. See this goblin? So that's... There are also like a lot of things about like individual little parts of RPGs that I find absolutely fascinating. Like one of the big ones is recovery, and like goodness. All right, all of the gems. Yeah, the game has to Kool-Aid Man through the wall to explain like how stuff works. Here's the math. Here's why it makes sense. Have fun. And sometimes it's like, oh boy, math. Man, just the flat out stop on over encumbrance. All right, torches are free. Repair hammers are kind of heavy. Rare pulp is at least worth money. That was 5 to 1. Is that worth it? Around a good 12 pounds of rat meat. You weigh 20 pounds. Good lord. Yeah, in terms of like, particularly what I find super fascinating in RPGs is their recovery systems and like how they handle the whole situation. Hello, rat, are you just tame? Nice calm rats. Leave them alone. Like there's tons of games have like the concept of like mana and healing. And I find the interplay between health and mana and or like whatever resource you use to heal one of the most fascinating questions in game design, Um, just because it's like you end up with situations like clerics in a lot of games where it's like you have a healer and their entire yes, excuse me, their entire purpose is to just like sit there and heal, and like they almost always have like, here's all these other cool things that they could do, except you need to use the resources for healing.
Until help arrives.
Help? What makes you think help will get here before more of those bastards? We need to get the Emperor out of here.
That the best I can do? My soul for the dragon! Damn it, it's that prisoner again. Kill her. She might be working with the assassins.
No, she is not one of them. She can help us. She must help us. They cannot understand why I trust you. They've not seen what I've seen. How can I explain? Listen, you know the Nine, how they guide our fates with an invisible hand.
See, this is where we get into an interesting division between primals and gods, and like Final Fantasy, god slaying versus just existing. Because it's like Final Fantasy also has the 12, and the story is on good terms with the 12, but also she kills gods. Yeah, sure.
I've served the Nine all my days, and I chart my course by the cycles of the heavens. The skies are marked with numberless sparks, each a fire, and every one a sign. I know these stars well, and I wonder which sign marked your birth.
Yeah, I guess the Daedra would be primals, is the closer approximation of lore transference. All right, this one's always fun. The bonus to magic, but also a 100% weakness to magic. Okay, so like this is where we get into fun things of the star sign is this one. The Atronach is really fascinating in terms of your star sign. Just like you have 50% spell absorption that recharges magicka instead of regaining magicka over time, and also have a much higher pool. Weakness to fire and just like a little heal. Wah. That would be fun and play well into like the whole succubus side of things. This plays well into like the paladin skill set. Becoming invisible for 60 seconds is like kind of neat, but also just really not worth it. Dealing with locks, oh boy, average locks. That's so not worth it. And then you have like the straight up, here's 10 points to attributes, and notably that's attributes and not skills. But again, we boil back into the whole leveling system problem of, okay, well, if I increase the major attributes that I'm actually intending to use, well, no, that doesn't affect the levels. That's actually fine. Having higher attributes is fine. Because skills, like, even if you hit level, like, if you hit 100 in, say, strength, then that's not going to stop you from gaining any more levels. It's only the skill side of things where having higher numbers is kind of bad. And that's kind of what makes the thief like super, super, super good. Because it gives you just 30 points. And granted, it's in agility and speed and luck, but also you can never gain more than one luck per, like, that's, no skills are governed by luck. Therefore, you can never gain more than a single point of luck per level. So having an extra 10 points of luck is quite a lot. This is where I try to remember what all the stats actually do. I think willpower and endurance are based, like, those govern magicka and fatigue. So that having these higher will make it so that you gain more magicka and fatigue stamina. What do they actually call it? Do they just call it fatigue? I think they just call it fatigue. Anyway, the lady will make it to where you gain more of those per level. And again, we get into like the whole leveling system being an issue where if you're gaining less, like if you are gaining fewer levels, then you are gaining less health. You're gaining less health, magicka, fatigue, and all of that stuff. Like, it's just a wacky, fun time with numbers being weird and lower than you. Oh, it's always hard to turn down the thief, but again, lover would be like, this is a fun thing that would play into like the whole being a succubus thing. But also, that's not a very good, like, compared to other things, that's just not very Actually, take that back. Paralyze is actually pretty, like, 10 seconds of paralyze is decent. I think we're just going to go with the lady. Like, those are two really nice things. I don't remember what skills are governed by willpower and endurance. I think that affects like every level ever.
The signs I read show the end of my path. My death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. Your stars are not mine. Today, the lady shall fortify you in your quest for glory. My dreams grant me no opinions of success. Their compass ventures not beyond the doors of death. But in your face, I behold the sun's companion. The dawn of Akatosh's bright glory may banish the coming darkness. With such hope, and with the promise of your aid, my heart must be satisfied. No trophies of my triumphs precede me, but I have lived well, and my ghost shall rest easy. Men are but flesh and blood. They know their doom. but not the hour. In this, I am blessed to see the hour of my death, to face my apportioned fate, then fall. I go to my grave, a tongue shriller than all the music calls me. You shall follow me yet for a while, then we must part.
You may as well make yourself useful. Carry that torch and stick close.
For the longest time, I was really confused about that icon down there in the bottom left. Partially because it does not show well on CRT. With HDMI and fancy, resolution and whatnot, you can actually see that it's just a little X. It's a really weird shaped X though, and it's like, what does this mean? Why can't I do anything with that button except, oh wait, there's a little B icon next to it. That's the stop talking button. I am finding like the lip syncing, like whatever they did for that was actually like a pretty solid system in this game.
Stick close and let us do our job, and you'll be all right.
Oblivion, take you!
The Emperor's in danger! Prisoner! Prisoner! The Emperor needs help!
For the
Almost deserves.
Emperor!
It's also interesting that I can actually kind of hear some of the compression on the audio. Like, and I don't think I've ever played this with headphones on. Like, going between the remaster and this, particularly for Patrick Stewart's lines, I'm hearing some of the necessary crunch to fit this onto a disc.
Prisoner! The Emperor needs help!
Animals, both come in. It's just about time for Emperor to have a little bonk on the noggin and fall over dead. I looked away when Dan got to that point in the remaster. I didn't see the fancy animation.
I don't like this. Let me take a look.
All these skill points. My levels
Looks
going to
clear.
waste.
Come on. We're almost through to the sewers. Damn it! The gate is barred from the other side. A trap! What about worth a try? Let's go.
It's a dead end. What's your call, sir?
They're behind us. Wait here, sire.
Wait here with the Emperor. Guard him with your life.
For the Emperor!
Come with us. Your I can go no further. You alone must stand against the Prince of Destruction and his mortal servants. He must not have the Amulet of Kings. Take the amulet, give it to Joffrey. He alone knows where to find my last son. Find him and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
Stranger, you chose
For the blades!
I forgot. Just the joy of when things when we start getting the ragdoll physics.
I failed. The blades are sworn to protect the Emperor. Now he and all his
I really
heirs
need to
are
watch
dead.
DS9 at some point.
The amulet.
It's
Where's
not on
the amulet
Netflix
of
anymore,
kings? It
though.
wasn't on the Emperor's body. Strange. He saw something in you. Trusted you. They say it's the dragon blood that flows through the veins of every septum. They see more than lesser men. The amulet of kings is a sacred symbol of the Empire. Most people think of the red dragon crown, but that's just jewelry. The amulet has power. Only a true heir of the blood can wear it, they say. He must have given it to you for a reason. Did he say why? Joffrey?
I should really look
said
into,
that?
like,
Why?
see if I can find a
Nothing I ever heard about. But Joffrey would be
an
the
old
one to
box
know.
set of
He's the Grand Master
like
of my order.
DS9 and
Although
Next
you may not
Generation.
think so to meet him, he lives quietly as a monk at Waynon Priory, near the city of Coral. First, you need to get out of here. Through that door must be the entrance to the sewers, past the locked gate. That's where we were heading. It's a secret way out of the Imperial City. Or it was supposed to be secret. Here, you'll need this key for the last door into the sewers. There are rats and goblins down there. But from what I've seen of you, I'm guessing you're an experienced scout. Am I right?
You have made a suggestion, sir, and I disagree. Yes. The ever important, when making your own class in this game, make sure you first find the art that you want associated with your class. It's just neat art. Okay, so again, with the leveling nonsense of this game, choose your specialization. Specialized skills get plus 10 and increase faster. Wamp. So oh, I'm curious about those Elder Scrolls Online loading screens. MMO loading screens can be really, really cool. I know I really wish Final Fantasy XIV did like its area like if you log off somewhere and log back in, you have this you get like this full spread art of that zone. I really wish they would put that in like the zone transition loading screens as well. I know there's crimes that will allow that for like allow you to do that, but I play on console. Crimes are not an option. So anyway, so yeah, this is where we like immediately butt heads with the leveling system. Like skills that go up faster. In order, okay, so again, like boiling it down, to go up a level, we need to gain 10 skill points in our major skills. We'll choose those after this specialization. which means that the more points that we have to gain in that time, like, okay, let me try that again. We go up a level when we gain 10 points in our major skills. When we go up a level, we get to choose 3 attributes to increase. The bonus to each attribute is based off of the number of skills that are related to that attribute that went up between levels. So that means if we're going up levels faster, we're not getting as many skills leveled up between levels, which means that we're getting lower quality levels. It also means that however many skills go up, like the higher our starting skills are for our major skills, the fewer levels that we gain. And it's just very silly. So anyway, we're going to have Surya built backwards. Okay, this is fine. Like, this is, again, we have just an increase to the attributes themselves. Attributes have no relation to the leveling process. So starting, like, we're going sword and board and whatnot. So starting with higher strength is not a bad thing. Starting with higher sword skill is a problem. yeah, it's like the idea that you want numbers to go up faster makes sense because that means that you'd be gaining, like, it makes sense on paper until you think about it too much. Which, you know, when you play this game for hundreds of hours and your first character is a mage elf who doesn't have enough magicka to, like, do much of anything because of all of these really terrible levels that they did, and like all of the fast leveling that they did early on, creates a problem, especially in this game, because everything is balanced to your level. So, like, that level balancing is the biggest part of this problem, because it's like it has an expected value of strength that you should have at that point. And if you have been having low quality levels up to that point, you are now under leveled, but the game is not looking at your overall stats, it's just looking at your level. So you, like, 2 characters that are level 10 could be wildly, like, you can get up to +5 in a skill or in an attribute per level. So you have one character going from level 1 to level, we're going to round that up to 11 to make the math easier, and they have high quality levels all the way through. They gain 50 ability points between level 1 and level 11. Low quality leveling character gains, oh, I'm sorry, I said 50, I actually meant 150. Low quality character gets 30 whole points. And that is like a really extreme situation where they are leveling up, like, only major skills, and none of those major skills are governed by the same attribute, sort of thing. Like, that is, you know, a really worst case, like, drastic example that is probably either impossible or very difficult to pull off. And yeah, it's like, again, this is why they changed it. This is why you now just have, like, choose 3 attributes to level up, and also throw a certain number of points at each. So, like, it flattens out the leveling curve, and that's a very good thing. Like, I haven't seen like super in depth on how that whole system works, but like watching Frost level up earlier and just seeing like, here's the list of abilities, put some points into each, and like you're still limited to 3, but like you have you have a raw amount of power that is going into your character every level, and it's a very straightforward thing. It's not this mess that I keep ranting about that is the Oblivion leveling system that I do kind of love in its own way. It's just like it's almost, very much almost, a how do you want your leveling curve to work sort of situation. Yeah, it's like it's trying to do something cool, and I think it is like, I think it is similar to how, I really need to look up the Morrowind leveling system again. Like I'm fairly certain I've looked it up before, and I think it works in a somewhat similar way, but you also like you choose major skills and you choose minor skills in Morrowind. And I don't remember the interplay between those things. Anyway, strength is how much fatigue, melee hit stuff. Intelligence is total magicka. Okay, so intelligence is total magicka. Willpower is regeneration. And also fatigue. More fatigue. Just straight up speed. How much fatigue you have. And also health. And how much health you gain per level. Okay, this is the saving grace on the tutorial stuff of all that stuff I was ranting about with like gaining skills during the tutorial is actually a problem. This is where it's almost counteracted, is that your major skills straight up start at 25. However, based off of I think your race, and also start things higher than that. And I don't think it pulls these numbers back down at all. Yeah, I'm getting pretty heaped up over here myself. The insomnia is finally wearing off. Have a good night, Ed. Thanks for hanging out. Probably not going to go too much longer myself. Okay, so actually your major skills just start at 25. They don't go up faster. The thing that determines how fast they go up is just the specialization. So it still has the problem of like the skills that you're using all the time are the ones that are going to go up. I think for sake of argument, we are going to have Shreya just specialize in her stuff. have to name it. Just call it Adventurer. And it picked a random. I could have sworn this actually like based it off of your whatever icon you had been floating over before. I guess that's not the case.
Really? I would never have guessed. Still, I don't think you'll have any trouble with rats and goblins. You must get the amulet to Joffrey. Take no chances, but proceed to Wayne Priory immediately. Got it? Good. The Emperor's trust was well placed. I'll stay here to guard the Emperor's body, and make sure no one follows you. You better get moving. May Talos guide you. By the way, thanks for recovering Captain Renault's sword. I'll see that it is given a place of honor in the halls of the Blades.
Bye. Can I have his sword? Second. All right. Gonna do a quick bot ban the Discord. Of those horrible quote unquote art bots. And if they're not bots, then it's still just like, hey, maybe don't go into a random Discord. Cheese wheel. Maybe don't go into a random Discord and, you know, post a very bot-looking message in which you refer to, like, people you worked with in weird bot ways. Man. I actually options. Video. Brightness is okay, I can at least see the walls on my side. I don't know how well that comes across on stream, but whatever. God, like, okay. So this is like the sort of thing that made this game super good. Is we didn't really have a whole lot of like, and we probably did, but like it wasn't as major. Like trying to speak about graphics things in ways that it's just like I'm doubting every bit of history as I recall it. Howdy Dan, welcome. like how incredible this looked in its day. Like the jump from like PlayStation 2 and whatnots, getting into this and like normal maps. My goodness, normal mapping. Like normal mapping with like a dynamic light on the character as like a major feature. These little god ray things that they do that are just like, you can see right here, you can see the square in this polygon that I am tearing by getting close to it. Like you can kind of see like what they were doing that made this game look really great in the day. Of just like, here's some semi-transparencies and like, ooh, a texture with transparency, but it looks like spiderweb. I just cannot stress enough how incredible this game looked in its day. And it still looks like it holds up fairly well. Like, I mean, yeah, the faces are what they are, but that you could make like your own character with like all of that detail. Hello, random door. Ah, yes. And then, of course, the save. Apparently, last time I played this, Dan, this was actually your fault when I was playing this last, apparently I made Gruntilda. I'm curious about that. Maybe we'll do a quick load to see what's over there. Let's take a real quick peek. Right, I was going around trying to do all the mage quests to get into Mage's Guild proper. All right. There she is. That's Gruntilda. Apparently just going around with a war axe. Is starting to pick up some spells, I guess. Right, it's just the D-pad. Okay, so we've got torch. Right. God, it is so hard to be a mage in this game. Just having to go through every town just to do the Mage Guild stuff. Alright, well that was a fun little... So my first character in this game, like, it was kind of a vendetta because I played Morrowind at a friend's house, or rather tried to, and basically kind of went down the route of the worst decisions I could make in character creation and made like an elf under the star sign that makes me extra weak to magic, and all this stuff of like I'm going to be like super ultra mega mage. But the problem with that game is that, you know, magicka doesn't restore on its own. You have to rest. So cast a spell and, well, that's it. Done. I can't do anything else as a mage. So didn't get very far in that. So when I came into Oblivion, it's like, okay, I'm going to make a mage for real. And kind of went the same route of like super magicka, very like, I think I took the extra weakness to magic, elf, everything. And I had a good time blasting spells, but by the end of the game, because of poor leveling stuff, oh man, look at all that color. Look at that level of detail when things are more than 30 feet away. Man. But I did eventually get through like all of the Mage Guild stuff, and like I had a great time playing a mage, even though I definitely had issues with how I had set up my character and how I had given myself quite a few poor quality levels. It did become an actual problem. Crab. Crab has a bone. He has killed before. Okay, so torches do die eventually. Okay, can I actually like grab this butterfly? Maybe not. Okay. Yeah, like overall, Mage's Guild was eventually a lot of fun. It's just like it takes so long to actually get to be in the guild to where you can actually like start doing the cool fun stuff with spells. And like there's just so many spells that you just can't do anything with. And like if, like me, you end up making a kind of crappy mage who doesn't end up with enough magicka in the late game, then can't cast any of the cool spells that you learned.
This ends here. I'm just warming up. Take that.
Just missing him. There we go. Rip. I know, like, there are some really fun quests along the way for getting into the Mages Guild. There are also some that are just like, unfortunately, they trap you into a space, and if you are low level, it's really rough. which is, of course, what happened on my first playthrough. Ooh, clients. By the way, Dan, did you find that ruby in the tutorial that you were looking for? So it was definitely it was definitely there. There was just a skeleton lying on the ground with a ruby on like next to it. I'm sure it is much easier to spot in the original when it's just kind of dark brown around there with this bright red spot. Alright, that went much better. Also helps I remembered that shielding is a whole thing. Actually, let's just sleep off the pain. Man, what great loading screens.
I better cut down on the ale. Starting to see things, I am.
mud crabs more fearsome than
Ah,
you.
there's the
Take
line.
that!
Good old
Die,
red line.
Claire! Ha! Hello? Who's there?
There you are. Hmm.
Hello? Who's there? Where are you?
The pile of shiny rocks. So the men were worried about these old ruins being haunted, but Mephala, take them. This spot's going to be perfect for ambushing merchants along the road, and all under the new region. Finally got some big blue stones down today, Berenice. Shoot them down with her bow. Got them all here with me. I don't know what they are, but they stink of magicka. Bet they'll fetch a nice price with the Mages Guild. 2 coins, and that cheat. Wardenfels set up their camp down the tomb. Fine by me, spares the rest of us the smell. 2 coins ran up today, the cheat's gone, missing. Swore to the 9 that you could hear claws scrabbling at limestone, but nothing's down there. I think she got tired of the smell and snuck out overnight. 2 coins stench. Peel shills off mud crabs. I'm surprised she hung around that long. And There really was something special about this game. Like, it just hits like that exact level of complicated enough to be interesting and extremely approachable. And giving you enough control over everything about your character and presenting you with just a fun adventure to be had all around.
Whatever it was, gone now.
Yeah, how just silly the health bars are. It's like they almost seem to mean just it's just impossible to tell like how much health an enemy actually has left with the little weird curved health bars. It's complete. Is this? Ah, there it is. I need to go back and watch a couple of sections of pod. Like I missed when the Emperor got assassinated. Like I looked away like just at that time. So I need to go back and see that like proper animation for zombies. I remember hating fighting zombies in this game. Need to actually like pay attention to some of those UI changes. speed and agility being drained. Rude. Right, Mortflesh just very heavy. And also, I am rather injured. Let's see about not dying. So you're blocked from the other side, or just... just admiring textures. Don't mind me. So getting shot by another skeleton. Thought I was. Is it just the one? Just the one then. Shooting at me. Where? Yeah, didn't even see you. forgot how just like this combat system is like overall pretty simple, but it is extremely engaging. Like it is just like taking so much more just thought and consideration than I remembered it doing. It's like this is, you know, a good 5 years before Dark Souls, right? Something like that. 4 years, maybe. And it's definitely not like Dark Souls at all, but it's still just like has some of that interplay between health and stamina and being over encumbered. Hooray for not being able to move at all. Oh, this broke. Probably try to alchemy up something. Okay, Frost just did this. feel like I've leveled up awfully quickly, so I'm going to have a low quality level. A shame. God, how significant this dungeon was. I was expecting this just to be like a super quick little thing. It turns out it's like actually like several layers deep. Actual like flow between, oh yeah, there's bandits have made a home here. They've got their guards posted outside, out front. First floor is all bandits, and then, oh, we found a secret passage and there's a zombie, and now it's skeleton time. So glad the remaster uses like the same style of maps. And I find myself curious, it's like, how did they do this? On a technical level, like how did they make these maps? I'm wondering if they had just like there were like the 3D models that they actually had, and then there was like in placing them around the space that would create like essentially like here's a pile of sprites and whatnot. It also has like the holes in the floor, these weird pillars. I'm really curious how they did that on like a technical level, because like if they went through and like there's no way they would have done that. There's absolutely no way they would have like gone through and hand drawn each of these maps. They would have had to do some sort of element, like or some sort of like automated element between creating the space in 3D and creating the space for the map. No. The encumbrance.
Hello? Who's there?
That works. Oh, it's this guy. Okay, yeah. And control, yep, this guy. Okay. What was I doing while you were doing this part, Dan? I definitely remember hearing you talk about these things. Maybe that's when I was like making food. Not the worst levels. Certainly not the best. Hard to turn down a +5. So you said being a Skyrim design feature, not something to do for Oblivion. Alright, I think the insomnia is finally wearing off, and I'm getting tired, so I am going to go ahead and save here. Call it a night. We'll see if this ever continues. Well, hey. Y'all, thanks for hanging out. Anybody stuck around from that Frost raid? Well, hey. Thanks for hanging. I will catch y'all some other time. Who knows? I don't know when I stream. It happens sometimes. Happy Oblivion, I guess. Y'all, have a good one. Bye-bye.